guys, Thomas from Team Sakurasou here, coming at you guys with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Mark Watch. And before I begin, I actually want to say thank you. Thank you to those not only who watch me and appreciate the content, but thank you to all those who've been commenting. My last video got so many comments. It was so good to see the perspectives on full arts and what people, I think they're called like Overdrive officially. And what people, or Overframe, actually, that's what they're called, and what people thought of it. And my market watch before on Monday got a lot of comments too, and a lot of love, even from people hitting the like button, commenting. So I want to say thank you guys so much for that. I'm not going to waste any of your time. Just, there's going to be some awesome sleeper picks here. There's going to be buyouts happening right now. And there are buyouts that I want you guys to be ahead for, especially with GENESYS format and all that. So I'm going to skip all the, introduction stuff. Get right into it. Just smash that like button. Subscribe. 100 likes on this video would be great. And let me know in the comment section below what cards I'm going over next, Mark Watch. I love it when you guys give me cards to go over. And really, thank you guys so much here. So, Evolzar Lagia, I went over the Dino buyouts recently last week, and I realized that there are some Dino cards that are very underrated. Lagia being one of them. Now, not only can this and Dolka be played in Dino Rabbit, a format that you never know if it's going to spike up. We saw the buyouts that Redo format had, and that has not really stuck. I haven't seen too much hype or anything about Redo format as of lately, maybe because of GENESYS format. Most people are like, you know what, instead of making our own formats, Konami gave us this format that seems really fun, really good, which there will be a collab on Chris's channel soon, by the way, where I'm actually playing Medolce, and I had a blast with GENESYS. But not to, digress too much here, maybe people will play Dinos, especially in GENESYS format. We have the new support coming up, and this is older format applicable, $6. I'm going up to $7. I would definitely get your playset of Lagia. If you don't know what this does, by the way, it is either a Speller Trap Negate or a Blackhorn. This negates a normal or special summon. That is the one thing I want people to know, because a lot of people think it just negates the special summon. So they equate this to like a Black Horn of Heaven, like a Solemn Warning. And no, it's actually a normal as well. So if you think that your opponent only has the normal, go ahead and negate, especially if you think that you can just stop the play right there. Dolka here, this is just, when monster effect's activated, could be anywhere. You detach, negate, and then destroy, right? And remember, that is not once per turn. So this is 2 negates for dinos for monster effect, negate and destroy. From grave, hand, anything. Awesome card. Right now, QCs are $8 with 43 listings. While the listings are somewhat high on this, I'm going to be honest with you guys here. This card will slowly but surely, go up. And I think that with the Dino support, if it has something to do with level 4s, because remember, with the Scientist archetype, we don't know what it's going to really be. We just know that misc is obviously going to be good. We get the generic Dino stuff, which really quickly, we're going to go over the Dino stuff of last week, see how it kind of held up. Miscs did get bought out around 12 bucks. Now they're like 13, 15. They've held their buyout price. You got Fossil Dig here, 20 bucks here. You got playsets coming in at 23, 25, going up to 30. Once I think we get the Dino stuff, the Dinos, we're going to see more buyouts for the max rarity generic stuff for dinosaurs. That's what I think. And Overraptor still on low listings, but Overraptor always kind of had low listings. I'm not really too shocked here, but yeah, going absolutely crazy for Overraptor as well. Platinum Overraptors, by the way, these are like $3 here. I told people if you want to get these at dollars, 70, 80 cents real quick, they're not bad, because usually I do recommend the plats when they are less than 10% of the QCs, especially if the QCs are a lot of money. Because when I see like a $15 QC and the plats are like less than 50 cents, I'm like, oh, people will pay $1 or $2 for this easily. And it really puts the penny in penny stocks. And if you did get this at 50 cents, 70 cents, even like $1, you did go up on these. There's a lot of plats that are actually really good to get. A big one that I'm just thinking of was Soul Servant. This is a card that, even to this day, the plats are like $9, $10. The QCs, they're not $11. I knew that. They're like $37, $40. But the platinums were at one point like pretty cheap. Like you could see here, like $1.30 of $5 here. It does go up here to 5, but 3.5 to 5, and then it just goes up to $10. So this was a card that a lot of people pulled and don't even think it's worth like more than $1. So here it is at $9. You never know when these plats are going to go up, especially when the QC of it is in such high demand. a lot of people are also more willing to buy the cheaper plats than the QC. So always keep that in mind. Now, Lava Golem. We have to talk about this card in Genesis because right now with Genesis, something that I should have been aware of more and thought of, and a lot of people did, was, okay, what cards are really good at 0 points and what cards are good enough to staples that are worth points, but I don't have to run them and I can put my points in something else, right? One of the cards that's going up, and we have another one on the way, is Lava Golem. QC here, a lot of people are like, you know what? This card costs 0 points, or like 1 or 0 points. I think it's 0. And, you know, this could break a lot of boards, especially because the boards are weaker in Genesis as well. Right now, these are $20, going up to $28, $29, up to 30 for your Lava Golem QCs. So I always recommend this card even at $18, $20. Now it's going up to $20, $25, $28, $30. I think this card could go up to 40, 50 because not only is it, if it's a good staple in Genesis, is it going to go to the moon, but Lava Golem is an original card. You know, a lot of collectors like this, and something you got to be aware of when you look at cards either for investment or if you think they can go up, or cards that you want to get but you can't get everything in your cart, which, guys, I've been there. There's a lot of cards I've wanted, and I'm like, you know what? I have to make a decision, and I either get rewarded for my choice where I'm like, oh, good thing I got this early, or I get punished for waiting until next paycheck. Unfortunately, that's how the game kind of goes. You will unfortunately lose by the skin of your teeth, and it hurts, man. I've had people in my comments be like, wow, I was waiting until Friday to buy them, and they had to get bought out Thursday, and they're just mad. And hey, I've been there. So if you've been there, let me know in the comment section what card it was. For me, I remember the card it was. I think it was, man, I know that it was one of them was Chaos Sorcerer for Edison. Oh, and Dad. Ultimate Rare Dad. That's what it was. It was Ultimate Rare Dad. I could have got mine at 150, and I lucked out. It really sucked. But yeah, this card goes up to 30, 40. We got to look at the other versions as well. So we got PCR here. $3. Very fair. I mean, it goes up to 5, but you're really paying way more with that shipping. That's kind of the one issue that PURs and PCRs kind of have, is that there's a lot of people, they just don't have listings. That's why I always tell people, if you like PCR, PUR, I would definitely get them really early when they release, because usually they're cheap, but people will put up play sets, right? And yeah, you might be paying $3 for a card that's going to go at 50, 60 cents each. But but people will get burned on the shipping later on. Even if the card goes to $1 later on, even $1.50, it's like, oh man, well, nobody has more than a copy, so I'm paying $1.50. Okay, that's $4.50. But with the shipping, it's really like I'm paying $8, right? It really sucks. I've had a lot of people like I can't pay double on a card because of the shipping. That's just how it is. But yeah, they're $3 go up to $6 here. Secrets, I told people this was a penny stock. Right now, they're $3 going up to $5 as well here. So you kind of have your choice. Now, my personal pick is the OG Lava Golem. I like OG First Edition a lot, and I got my Lava Golems before I had a QC. This was something that was so cheap, and I didn't know why. And to this day, I still don't know why, because we're scrolling down here. Now, remember, I am hovering these secrets, right? They're $3, $4, going up to $5, okay? So keep that in mind. Let's say they're $5, right? So these OG First Edge should be to the moon, right? No, you have a First Ed Light play for 11, 15, 10, 20. This is way too cheap for a First Ed from Pharaonic Guardian, especially for the Secret Rare. Definitely a card that I would get First Ed, absolutely. You have Speed Duel Tournament Pack 3. This is the Ultra Rare, so I did want to kind of hover this one because there's not a lot of listings. They're like $8. I don't think I think Speed Duel is going to be like something that is quote-unquote collectible. Nothing too crazy, but it's going to be something that has a smaller market, but a small demand. But because there's such a small supply, you might make it in the end. I'm not saying you have to go crazy for Speed Duel, but there's also the chance they bring it back. I don't have faith in that, but I always like to be aware of Speed Duel cards, because I do feel like one day we're going to see them at a price point where it's unbelievable. And they're going to be treated similar to something like Dark Legends, where we just don't see these cards. Maybe I'm tweaking on that. Please let me know in the comment section below what you think of that, but that's just my thoughts. DTs right now, I know a lot of people don't like DTs. Right now they're 20. You got one here for 20, and then you got $70 here. I am shocked at that. You see the sales history here. Near mints are selling at like 10 to, about 10s to 15s. So this light play or this near mint at 20 is above that, but they do go up to 70s here. So if you want this, you got one at 20 before they go up. Maybe you want to get it and see if you could trade it in for 50 or something somewhere. Who knows? Meister. Now we know Ghost Ball costs some points. Same with other graveyard interruptions. This is a card where if a card is activating your post graveyard, you send this card from your hand to graveyard to negate that effect, right? So it doesn't negate the reborn. It's an effect that activates in grave. This is 0 points, and people are looking at for GENESYS. You got $10 here, going up to 14 if you want them. I said at 5 you could, but there's a lot of good $5 QCs. But this is not bad at all. If you could get it for any cheaper, trade for it, go ahead. And that's what I said in the past, because Rarity 2 was very cheap for a lot of its cards. It really was like the $5 bin of Rarity collections. Like, I really will always stand by that. Meister Platinums, these are dollars. So if you're worried about this card, you want to play GENESYS, get a playset, $3 and call it a day. But there's rares and you'll be fine, honestly. There's also secrets, so don't be too worried about getting this card. But if you want the next best thing after QC, you got Plats at $1. OGs. Now, I actually have OGs. I got them in for really, really cheap when Rarity 2 was coming in, and someone just said, Saki, take them off my hands. I'm mad, right? And they were, I don't even remember. I can't even tell you that they were this price. They were more closer to like $8, $9. And I said, sure, right? I gave him the number at the time because I wasn't paying full price, obviously. And I did lose on them, but I'm like, you know what? They're OG print, and I'll keep them for me. Whatever, right? I didn't really think much of it because it's always good to have a set of this card. Every time I try to play this card, I'll be honest, I hated it, but that was in Modern, not GENESYS, right? Like, I remember when I tried to play them in Geist, I was like, oh, it's a little forcer. You could beat a little faster, too, if you open up multiple copies. Just did not like this card. And this was when and I remember playing this when Ghost Ball was like at its quote-unquote prime, and I was just trying it out. 3 copies, Skullmeister, 3 Ghost. Did not like it. But right now, they're to the moon as well for your OJ secrets. I'm actually surprised that I got as rewarded as, because they are clean. They're near mint. 31 going up to 45. If you want this card, you like OG print, you got light plays here, but you know what? It's hard for me to say, oh, go ahead and grab them. Now, they are selling for this, right? Even like over here, they are selling for double digits, but they were cheap for so long. And now that I see them there, maybe if you could find them online somewhere for cheap. Remember, there are other places than TCG Player to buy cards. So if you want to go hunting around and maybe you could get them for cheaper, even if you have to pay more than that, like average of $8 to $9 they were, maybe you have to pay like 12, 13. Sometimes you have to bite a little loss, right, to get on big gain. That's just how it is. And before we go over the CR, guys, if you haven't hit that like button, smash that like button. Let me know what you think of this market watch in the comment section below, and what cards I'm going over next. Market watch. Hit that notification bell as well, because the algo does not like me. I think more of you have been doing it, because I do feel like the algo's been recovering for me a little bit. Nothing crazy, but like 10%. So thank you to those who did that. Now, Skullmeister CR. This is the original CR. Some people like these. I remember when these were a lot of money. I couldn't care less. $8. They do go up to 18. If you want the OG CRs, which these do look clean, way better than the reprint PCRs, you could come over here and get them. I think Ancient Guardians is going to be cheap for a while. Also, guys, if you want, consider being a channel member. I got the channel member video right over here from about 2 weeks ago, going over every QCR and Rarity Collection 1. So go check it out if you want more content. And if you become a channel member, you get access to the next channel member video, which is going to be going actually over Rarity 2 and all my thoughts on it. So definitely want to be a channel member for that. I do other videos as well. And you get access to emotes. And you got some pretty cool ones, actually. If you're a channel member, spam them in the comment section below. Show what's up. Heat Soul. This is a card that is the ultimate, in my opinion, buy low, sell high card. Heat Soul ranges from anywhere from $3 to $20, but it's happened a total of like 8 times. This card gets bought out roughly twice a year, from what I've noticed, no matter what. Right now, they're like $3, $4. I would definitely grab them. They've been like, as you see here, 18, another buyout over here. Then they calm down. There was another buyout somewhere over there too, but even the fall off was kind of slow. Yeah, I would get these at $4 just in case. Overload fusion here. You fusion some of the Dark Machine fusion monster from your extract by banishing materials from field or grave, right? Not a bad card, but it's more of a collector card. And this is something I actually forgot existed. And right now they're $5. Now, I would not mind having a single copy of this at $5 for my collection. Now, if you want to get a playset just in case, you either want to play it, or if this card goes up a lot of money and you're like, you know what, maybe I'm not too sure if I like Overflow Fusion, or you don't want to regret getting more. I've done that with cards like Ulti Value, and it's pissed me off. Definitely go ahead and grab it for $5. Definitely not bad. Transaction rollback. Whenever trap card decks are going to be back in the game, they will look at this card. They are 7. They do go up to 10. Whenever they go up, we get a good trap deck, like maybe Lab comes in the format or gets more support. These will probably just go up to 15. Maybe 20. Who knows? TG Hyper Librarian. Now, we have a lot of the 5D stuff coming out with synchros. I did look at Junk Speeder recently a lot, but I actually forgot about TG Hyper Librarian. I went over to the initial buyout at 15, which I guess they're not going to show it, unfortunately. That sucks. But it was $15 at one point. Right now, they're like 8s. So they went down, and now they're going back up. And they're literally in the middle, exactly, of that original $3 and that $15 max. They're at $8, right? You're basically right in the middle. They go up to 9s here. If you want to grab this card, you could be rewarded. You got like them over here for 6.5. Granted with that shipping, but if you get both copies, still 7s. So it's not that bad if you want to try to get this card. But this was the kind of card where I was like, you know what? If you want to grab this at $2, go ahead. I actually have a Euro copy, and it is one of the best looking cards ever. I went to, no joke, a regional, and I did a lot of business there. I traded a lot, right? And when I traded a lot over there, I was like, oh man, I like this card, I like that card. Nothing I really wanted for myself, but I got a lot of stuff that, the Chicago people in the Chicago area wanted, stuff like that. And it was really cool. But the one card that I came across that I kept immediately was a Euro TG Hyper Librarian. It was my favorite pickup, and it actually made my day a little brighter. Looks beautiful. Ultra, no, the YouTube videos quality did not go down. That's just the scan they have, by the way. Your jumps are like 4. I actually I went through hoops trying to get this as a jump card back in the day. You guys have no idea. I overspent on this card. I'm fine. I've had this card for like a decade at this point. Secrets, if you guys want them at $1 here, remember, TG 5D's collection looks goated. The secret rares from there and the ultras look way, way better than anything else. So definitely go ahead and grab your copies of this. If you just want a cheap version and you're like, I don't want like an ultra or a super, go ahead and grab these for $1. Now, Qliphort Scout. So someone actually mentioned Qliphorts in one of my videos, and it got me to think of two things, and I want your guys' opinions on this. From Alliance Insight, there's Qliphort and Yangzing that have yet to get support. I think FA got support in like 2019 with because we got Dawn Dragster, we got in like Flames of Destruction with Ghost Spell and Imperm. Flames of Destruction is a very underrated set. It really did change the game when you think about it. Because we also had Dragster in there. That's like a hidden card. We had all the Nightmares. That was kind of a tier 0 set if you think about it. When it comes to what it did for the game. Not putting us in a tier 0 format, obviously. That's not what it did. But I thought to myself, are we going to get any Qliphort cards? Because we did get these in Stampede, and we got 2 cards for them. Now, what I'm thinking to myself, though, is Konami does not like Pendulum, which is fine. I agree with them. Konami, I don't like Pendulum either. If you like it, hey, I respect you, right? Don't get me wrong. I definitely think it's also a little disingenuous to compare some of the Pendulum decks that we're getting now to how it was back in the day. It's just 2 different eras of Pendulum. In fact, there's multiple different eras of Pendulum, and they're so vastly different that, you were either there or you weren't. And with Qliphort Scout, I've thought about it. I'm like, you know what? It is possible to give it support, or maybe it has synergy with a Pendulum deck in the future. This right now, it's like $1, $1.60, $2. You don't have to break your back getting it, but if this deck gets announced support, I see initially this being $10. If it goes any higher, I'd be shocked, but I wouldn't be too surprised. You could get these for $2 and just wait. But let me know if you think they're going to get support in the comment section below. I'm actually going to look at some Yangzing as well. Though they didn't get any QCs, which is crazy because I thought they'd get at least one. Now, if you want to keep track of anything I say, check out the top link in the description below, TCG Creator. When you click this, it takes you here. Whenever you click any of these cards, it uses my affiliate link, which is awesome because you're buying any cards off TCG Player and use my affiliate link, which it's also in the description below, not just this, but my affiliate link. It really, really helps. And you can make your own graphs, so it's pretty awesome. Also, if you guys haven't hit that like button yet, smash that like button. Sacrifice, same thing I said for Qliphort, $1, $2. Not too bad here. Carrier is about $1, $1.50-ish. You got 40-ish listings here. You have the other super rare that has like lower listings, but it's just all supers. Helix, $1, $2 here. Again, I think that this core could easily jump up 5x. At least initially. Now, Monolith does have, I think, a super? Yeah, it has a Super Pendulum Evolution. But the secrets are like $5. They might not be a bad pickup. If you go just first edition here, yeah, 25, 5, goes up to 6. Not bad at all. Summoner's Art. Now, this is a card that I thought wouldn't be a bad QC. You add a level 5 or higher normal monster from your deck to your hand. Qliphorts did play this card. And this was no joke, like a $20, $30 rare back in the day. Now they're $1 for the highest rarity, which is an Astral Pack 6 Super. You have that Super, you have Speedo Torn Pack 2, which I would recommend maybe consider getting these, just because if we only have Supers, not only are they both going to run very low on listings, but they're tournament packs, so it's limited amount. And this has that Speed Duel variant where, hey, you know, you could play in Speed Duel. I think Astral Pack might be better, but if you want to get both, see what's up. I think these are both going to go up either way if Summoners Art ever comes back in the format. Now, which one, I'm not too sure. But if you get a play set of both, which these are $1, so it's $6, you win either way, right? So it's not too bad. This wouldn't be an awful QC, but would I like it? Not really. But I guess it's technically generic, but I could care less. And for the last card, Illumina, Lightstorm Sorcerer, Lost Art. These are $2, going up to $4 for your Luminas. We also have your Blackwing Armed Wings. These are a little more affordable here. These are like $10 instead of the $12, $15 that they were. But yeah, I actually may do another Lost Art Market Watch. Always pretty interesting. You got Harpy Dancer here at $10, going up to $12. So going up there as well here. I do think Harpies could get some more support, and I was very shocked to not see any QC. So Lost Art's technically highest rarity. So maybe we'll see some Starlights or some Full Arts for Harpy Girls. I think that, or any type of Harpy card, that would be pretty cool. And with that being said, guys, leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe, all of that. Check out the sponsors, whatnot. If you want cheap cards, it's an awesome place, all that. And leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video. Join our Discord. Peace.